I think they're in my gray jacket.
Your gray jacket.
Can you
want to top check in that? Just make sure we're all hooked up.
testing 1 2 3?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to start this.
And now, Lictus Oil and Propane and Clymer presents Clymer Sherman Panama Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is presented by J. Edwards Insurance in Panama and Jamestown, Mosher Carpeting in Clymer, Land Pro Equipment in Clymer and Falconer, Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, the Cornerstone Restaurant in Sherman, Clymer Hardware and Home Center.com, Triple E Manufacturing, EEMFG.com, Countertop Solutions, and by Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer, LictusOilAndPropane.com. And now let's head to the field for all the action of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the campus of Clymer Central School, where we have some CSP Wolfpack baseball action this afternoon on Channel 98.9. I'm Kyle Hinsdale, joined by my partner in crime, Pat Catanese today. And it's a blustery, cool day here in Clymer, and it's going to be a challenge, I think, to get all 7 innings in today, folks. It's wind is starting to pick up, and there's a kind of a mist in the air, which you may see on your TV screen with our camera. So CSP taking on Chautauqua Lake Thunderbirds today out of Mayville, New York, and first time that these two teams have played each other this year, and we're looking forward to a good battle between two good teams. CSP, as you can see on the screen, CSP breaking out their white pants for the first time today. So
I might have waited on that, Kyle.
Yeah, that they might get a little muddy and dirty today, but they do look sharp, that's for sure. And that for those that have watched CSP most of the year, you'll now notice they've got new jerseys and now new white pants. So white and gray pants are options this year, and which is kind of fun. So as we get started here, we'll just give you the layout for CSP defensively. Starting pitcher today is going to be Gabe Roth. Gabe last pitched on Friday night against Southwestern, where CSP ended up losing that game 11-1, and was the first defeat that CSP's faced all year, and was not a good performance all around, both at the plate and defensively. And so CSP is looking to rebound today, but backstopping behind the plate is going to be Grant Lictus. Playing first base is Bryce Hinsdale. Back at second base is Trent Burchanowski after a little delay, a little time spent on the DL, but he's back, and that'll be an important add for CSP. Austin White back from his trip in Gettysburg at his traditional shortstop position, and Tate Catanese manning the hot corner at third. You've got Dylan Michael in left, Blake Kopta in center field, another two players that were out on Friday night due to the trip to Gettysburg, and then Caden Beckerink is manning right field. So we got our traditional lineup back after couple kids were gone, and now that my partner has finished with putting the names in the book, any thoughts on the game today, Pat?
Well, I think it'll be a good game. Chautauqua Lake usually has a pretty good baseball program up there, so and I see they've won a couple and lost a couple. So, I mean, they have 2 losses, I believe, and we have 1. So.
Yep. So the name of the game here is to try to get a win and stay warm.
Nice to see Trent. You're correct. Nice to see Trent back at second base.
And it's my understanding, Pat, that it was just kind of a bone bruise and that he's been given clearance to go full force here.
Just have to work himself through the pain, I guess. I'm hoping that Gibby comes out feeling good tonight.
So first pitch strike to Chautauqua Lake hitter that I had somewhere here. I have it, Pat.
You got it?
Yep. Number 3, Henry, who's playing second base for Chautauqua Lake today. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Gabe Roth facing his first batter of the day. And here's the 1-1, and that's a ball high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, the field looks good, Kyle, after some inclement weather we've had the last few days. Looks like it held up pretty well.
Yeah, I would agree. It infield looks dry, and I came from, there's a swing and a miss for strike 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I came from Erie, and as soon as I left, it was misty, raining, sprinkling a little bit. We may face that the entire night, but it's playable.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Here's the 2-2, and he fights it off. Foul ball.
Well, yesterday morning we had people at my work show me pictures of their home, and they live near Casadega, and they had 2 inches of snow on the ground.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we can be thankful we didn't have that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we shouldn't have had that week we had a couple weeks ago that teased everybody when it was 70 degrees every day.
2 balls and 2 strikes here to Chautauqua Lake hitter Henry. Ball low, so first batter, Gabe goes full count on, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've had some adjustments to the schedule, Pat. Not only was this game scheduled to play last night, and that moved to tonight. Frewsburg stays in place for tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. Ooh, and he just plunked him. There's a hit batter right in the back. That's going to, on a cold day like today, that is
going to sting.
Going to sting a little bit. And he's not a very big kid.
And then I think they moved the Westfield game that was scheduled for last week, and then they rescheduled it for Friday, is now moved to Thursday night.
Yes, that's
correct.
correct.
And they canceled the Dunkirk game.
That's correct.
Okay.
All games that you can hear right here on Channel 98.9. Tomorrow night, Frewsburg starting at 5 o'clock. It'll be a big game. There's foul ball, strike 1. It'll be a tough matchup tomorrow night against a very good Frewsburg team, and then Westfield on Thursday night, which is typically in the past had good programs. So,
yeah, I don't think there's an easy game this week. So,
Henry on first, and Gabe checks over there, and he's safe. Leadoff batter on for Chautauqua Lake with a hit by pitch. So this is batter number 2, Hughes, playing shortstop today for Chautauqua Lake. And there's strike number 1. Strike number 2. Excuse me. No balls and 2 strikes. What do you think of the white pants, Pat?
I like them. I want to see how long they stay that color. Hopefully they get dirty today. That means they're playing, like
That's
I said
right.
earlier.
Yeah, I like them. Man, they look sharp. There's the 0-2, and he swings and misses for strike 3. So out number 1 of the inning for CSP. Strands keeps the runner at first, and that's going to bring Olson, the catcher, to the plate for Chautauqua Lake.
Boy, that ball looked like it was coming right at us, Kyle.
Yes, it did.
And people on the camera, too.
Olson steps into the box for Chautauqua Lake. Henry on first. And there's a strike on the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike, and you can kind of hear the wind through our microphones, I'm sure. There's a ball outside, 1-1.
Kyle, I see there's a track meet going on here, too, so this is a busy place today.
Yes, it is.
And even the Clymer Central food truck is here today.
Yep. Go over there and get some dinner.
I hope they got hot chocolate.
1 ball, 1 strike to Olson. It's number 3 hitter for Chautauqua Lake.
Nice
And
curveball
there's
there.
a curveball in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the first, no score here in Clymer.
Be good for Gibbs Psyche to get out of this inning clean. He struggled at the end of that Southwestern game and probably been thinking about it ever since.
There, Olson fights that off for a foul ball.
But you got to give that
Count
Southwestern
stays
team a lot of credit. They hit the ball well.
They did.
They hit the ball well.
In particular, their top 4 or 5 hitters.
Yes.
But they got production really from 1 through 9, which is in high school is hard to do. There's a curveball for a swing and a miss for out number 2. So 2 outs, 2 strikeouts here in the top of the first for Gabe Roth. And that's going to bring the cleanup hitter Ormsby to the plate. Ormsby, tall kid playing first today for Chautauqua Lake. We saw him on the basketball floor.
Yes.
And he had a heck of a season. There's a curveball in for a strike. So Gabe working ahead in the count here early. No balls and 1 strike. Be curious to see if Chautauqua Lake gets aggressive here on the bases at all, Pat. Henry reached on leadoff hitter, and has been unable to get to second base.
Yeah,
So I thought maybe they might try to see if they could steal.
That was a very close play at first right there. Thanks.
One ball, 1 strike. And there's a little
Dribbler.
nubber over to second base. Trent gets up and throws, and they're going to get him at first. So Ormsby lines out to second base, and CSP gets out of the inning after giving up a leadoff hit by pitch. And after a half inning, it's CSP 0, Chautauqua Lake Thunderbird 0. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
In baseball, these are the moments that bring us to our feet.
But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
United for a great cause.
So join Major League Baseball and stand up to cancer
as we stand in honor of all loved ones affected by this disease.
I'm Jordana Brewster.
I'm Candace Patton.
Joe Manganiello.
I'm Matt Damon, and cancer has in some way touched all of us.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Welcome back to Clymer, New York, where CSP Wolfpack Baseball brought to you on Channel 98.9 and on Channel 98.9 Facebook feed. We are in the bottom of the first inning. CSP getting their first look at Chautauqua Lake pitcher today, who happens to be Rada. Probably, my guess is some relation, maybe father or son of Alex Rada. But with the folks back from Gettysburg, CSP is going to have their traditional lineup here, which means Austin White leads off. So we go lefty-lefty with Bryce Hinsdale on deck. Oh, here's the first pitch to Austin.
Some of these boys should be well rested. They didn't play a game at all last week, did they?
No, that's right. Yeah, because we only have one game,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
There's a soft fly ball behind second base, and that's going to be caught by the shortstop. So a little lazy fly ball that the shortstop Hughes was able to snag, and that's going to be out number one of the inning. So it's going to bring Bryce Hinsdale to the plate for CSP. And there's a ball outside, no balls, and 1 ball, no strikes. There's a lot of activity going on around here,
yes,
isn't there? There's
is.
quite a few people over at that track meet.
There's
a line drive by Bryce, and that's going to get over his head, and he's going to be rounding first, and he's going to stand up.
Oh, he's going triple.
That's a bad idea. And they're going to get him at third. That was not the best decision in the world there for Bryce. So that is a well-hit ball to right field, but he gets thrown out at third. And that's going to be out number 2 in the inning for CSP. Not ideal situation, but at least Bryce hit the ball. That's what we've been looking for.
I like the thought to see if they can. You got to get them on their toes right from the start. So
yeah.
Hit by pitch.
So hit by pitch. So Gabe hit batter on the first inning, and Gabe gets hit in the first inning. So
in the pros, they'd be talking to you about that.
Yes, they'd be having a conversation.
Yeah. Who's up? Trent?
So Trent Burchanowski in the traditional 3-hole, or back in the 4-hole, excuse me. And there's a ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here.
No, I watched warm-ups, and when the catcher threw down to second, he threw a pretty good ball.
Did he?
Yes, so.
That's good game prep on your part, Pat.
Thank you. That's from coaching for so many years.
Checks over to first. Gave in plenty of time.
Well, Gabe and Bryce both got their white pants dirty.
Yep, that's right.
Breaking them in right.
Here's the 1-0. High and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
I'm shocked that Gabe hasn't tested his arm yet.
I know. So have I. Maybe they saw the same thing that you saw,
Maybe,
Pat. But
maybe. But it's different when there's a person running than when you're just
Plus,
throwing
Gabe's fast.
Yes. He's got a good lead.
Yeah, good lead. There he goes. And catcher comes up and is unable to snag it out of his gloves. So that's a stolen base for Gabe Roth and puts a runner in scoring position for CSP. And that was a ball. So 3 balls and no strikes to Trent. That ball's outside for ball 4. So 4 straight balls to Trent Burchanowski, and that's going to bring up 5-hitter Tate Catanese with 2 runners on here in the bottom of the first, 2 outs. No score on the board. And if you're Tate here, you want to be waiting for him to at least throw 1 strike, right, Pat?
Yes, I think you're right.
Or are you giving him the green light?
I'm giving him the green light. Let's get these runs in.
That ball is outside for ball number 1 to Tate, but 5 straight balls now by Rada to CSP hitters. That ball's in the dirt. Gabe's going to steal third, and that ball's going to get to the left field, and he's going to stay.
Good coverage out there. Good backup by the left fielder. He stopped the run there.
So ball got loose from Olson behind the plate. Gabe and Trent both stole bases, and Olson tried to throw it to third, and that got to left field. Now we got 2 runners in scoring position, so base hit will get some runs on the board for sure. 1 ball, 2 balls, no strikes. And there's a well-hit ball to center field. That's going to right field, and that is going to go over his head, so that's going to be at least double, stand-up double, 2 RBIs for Tate Catanese, and it's 2-0 CSP. Well-hit ball to right field, kind of right center, and right fielder had a little trouble getting underneath that. And he had the green light, Pat. He'd thrown 6 straight balls, and Tate saw one right down the middle he liked and drove it. So that's going to bring Grant Lictus to the plate, wearing number 15 for CSP today.
There's
a shot back up the middle, and that's going to fall in. And
Tate fell down.
Tate fell, and he's going to keep going home. And he's safe, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yep, he's safe. After stumbling around third, he got back up.
Fell down, rolled over.
Got back up and made it. So RBI single for Grant Lictus. That ball trickled just over the outstretched arms of the second baseman, and that's going to bring Dylan Michael to the plate. 3-0 CSP here, still in the bottom of the first. And he's up there swinging. Dylan Michael's up there swinging, and foul ball for strike 1.
I'm thinking we should start a business and sell these white pants as a 3-pack. Because you know the mothers are not happy with these boys already.
Nope. Games today, tomorrow, and Thursday.
Well,
good size lead over here at first for Grant. And there's a ball, good stop by Olson. That Olson kid behind the plate's a good-sized kid.
And he stops the ball well.
Yep.
He had that one steal again where he didn't get a hold of it coming out of the glove. But
1 ball, 1 strike to Dylan Michael. Here's the 1-1, and that's
out of play.
Swing, foul out of play for strike 2.
Over in the fenced-in area.
So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dylan. Back in his traditional left field position today. There's a curveball high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Man, Grant's going with the no sleeves today. No coverage on the arms. It's chilly.
Gotta love that in a lineman. Gotta love that in a lineman.
A lineman and a catcher.
Yep, you gotta love that.
I think it's full count here to Dylan Michael. There's a ball in the dirt, and that's going to be ball 4. So CSP has runners on first and second after the walk to Dylan Michael, and that's going to bring Blake Kopta to the plate here in the bottom of the first. 3-0 CSP over Chautauqua Lake. 2 outs. Blake steps into the box.
If I remember correctly, Blake's last at bat was at Casanegaville, and he stroked a double. Remember, he hit the ball very hard.
Right.
So
yep, that's right.
He's coming off a good streak. Keep after it now.
There's a ball outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Kyle, we were watching the Yankees game last night, and they're playing in Minnesota. And I'll tell you more after this pitch.
There's a swing and a miss for strike number 1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And they were saying on the broadcast that underneath that field there's 31 miles of heat cords. So the field never goes below 40 degrees.
That's how they can play games in Minnesota in April and May.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a ball outside. 3 balls and 1 strike, because I do not believe, I know their football stadium is enclosed, but I don't think their baseball stadium is.
The Bills should think about doing that under their new stadium, under their new grass.
They are supposed to, it is supposed to be heated underneath.
Is it?
Yep. There's a ball outside for ball 4. So after getting the first 2 batters of the inning, Rada having a little trouble with the rest of the CSP batting order, and that's going to bring Caden Beckerink, the number 9 hitter today, into the box with the bases loaded and 2 outs. There's a swing and a miss for Caden for strike 1. 1 ball, no balls and 1 strike. Two outs, so runners are moving on contact. Ball inside, 1 ball, 1 strike, and if you're Chautauqua Lake, easy as base. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2, so 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded here in the bottom of the first for right fielder Caden Beckerink. Just looking to get bad on the ball here if you're Caden. There's strike 3, so CSP is going to leave 3 stranded here in the bottom of the first, but not after they put 3 up on the board. 3-0 CSP after 1. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
This Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Cornerstone Restaurant and Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. The Cornerstone offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and baked goods. The phone number is 716-234-4002, or find them on Facebook. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Cornerstone in Sherman for their support.
Support for CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Clymer Hardware and Home Center. Serving the Clymer area since 1873 with all your hardware needs at 8746 West Main Street and online at ClymerHardwareandHomeCenter.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Clymer Hardware and Home Center.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
It's amazing. Crawl into a nice warm sack with it, Chili.
Wow.
Welcome back to the campus of Clymer Central School, where CSP Wolfpack lead the Chautauqua Lake Thunderbirds 3-0 after 1 inning. CSP, all of those runs, Pat, were scored with 2 outs in the first because
that's correct. Yeah.
Chautauqua Lake got the first 2 batters. So nice job by CSP to generate some runs, and anytime you can give Gabe Roth a little bit of a lead, that is typically means good things. So we're going to have
I think they're starting with their number 5 hitter.
5, 6, and 7 hitters for Chautauqua Lake. So that's going to be Smith playing third base, C. Smith for Chautauqua Lake. Man, it is chilly. Whew. Hopefully they can get 10 runs here and
We can get out early.
get out early.
I don't think the next 2 nights are supposed to be any better. So we might as well get our bodies accustomed to it.
We'll have to talk to the owner of the radio station. Maybe we get hazard pay.
Maybe we can talk to Lictus and they can bring us a heater.
First pitch to Smith is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. And there is one that finds the strike zone for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to the number 5 hitter for Chautauqua Lake, the leadoff man here in the top of the second. And the ball high, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I don't envy the coaches this week, Kyle, trying to figure out a pitching rotation for 3 games in a row.
Yeah, particularly one. There's a foul tip for strike 2. Particularly one tomorrow night that you'd really like to have, I think.
Yeah, that's a very good ball team we're going to face there. And I don't know much about Westfield, like you said, but like you said earlier, they've always had a good baseball program there, so can't count them out. And this one's not over either. I mean, this team has won a few games, so.
Here's the 2-2. That's a ball high. So full count on the first batter of the inning for Chautauqua Lake. And Smith stays alive with a foul ball. Here's the payoff pitch to Smith, and that is high for ball 4. So leadoff man on here for Chautauqua Lake. And that's going to bring Blackman, today's DH, to the plate. Pretty good sized lead over here, Pat. Lead's not quite as big. They check him anyway, and he's in there safe.
He's got got Tate climbing up on the grass looking for a bunt here, I think.
Yep, and that's exactly what they were doing. And I think he went, Pat.
I agree.
So I think it's no balls and 1 strike. Typically do not see your DH bunting, but I guess this is the traditional situation where you look to try to get a runner in scoring position. The ball high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just by watching what we can see of the umpire, it doesn't look like he has a very large zone today.
No.
So seems like when you want to have a bigger zone in this cold weather. Got him. Oh, very close.
That one was close.
That was very close.
One ball, 1 strike to Blackman, the DH. And there's the delivery for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Gotta feel bad for those track people standing around waiting for their events to happen. You can only warm up so much and stay warm.
Here's the 1-2, and that is outside corner right at the knees for strike 3. So strikeout number 1 of the inning for Gabe, strikeout number 3 for the game, and that's going to bring the center fielder B. Smith to the plate. Number 7 hitter for Chautauqua Lake. C. Smith still on first.
Oh,
he
thought about calling that a strike and called it a ball.
Curveball on the outside part that was just off the plate for ball 1. And there's a fastball in for a strike. Gabe looks like he's more in rhythm today, Pat.
I agree with that.
Even though he's had some pitches that are a little bit uncharacteristic of him, he does look, motion-wise, he looks like he's more in control today.
Well, I think that high for the ball 4 that high, I think that's a cold weather thing. The fingers might not have been right where they wanted to be. And that's the thing. You got to get that when your hands are cold. Got to get that ball just where you want it and keep it there.
Yeah, that's right. It's a swing and a miss for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to B. Smith.
Well, that's true for everyone. Even the fielders, when they catch it and go to throw it, they got to make sure they got a hold of it.
Yeah, there's strike number 3 on a swing and a miss. So strike number 2 out of the inning, out number 2 for CSP, and that's going to bring
2, 3, 4.
That is going to bring Meadows to the plate, playing right field today. And Gabe's ahead early. No balls and 1 strike. Again, Chautauqua Lake getting that leadoff man on and having no real desire to be aggressive on the bases.
No, they haven't wanted to test Grant's arm yet today.
And now Gabe's up, no balls and 2 strikes. That ball's outside for ball 1.
I think it was me personally. I'd send my runner now. We got 2 strikes on the batter. Let's see.
Ball high for ball number 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I agree with you, Pat. And if you get thrown out, you bring 8, 9, and 1 back to the plate.
Correct.
Or back to the box. And there's the pitch.
High.
And so full count here to Meadows. And there's strike number 3. So 3 strikeouts in the inning for Gabe Roth. Chautauqua Lake strands 1. And after 1.5, it's 3-0 CSP. We'll be right back after we pay some bills.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Welcome back, where it's 3-0 CSP after an inning and a half. And after batting around in the order in that first inning, CSP is going to have their leadoff hitter, Austin White, also lead off the second inning. So Austin with a small lazy fly ball just over second base in that first inning that was caught by the shortstop Hughes. So Austin looking to get his first hit of the day. And there's a ball low, 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, there's a strike.
Now he can settle in. Waiting for that first strike. Now he can get after it.
There's another ball. So 3 balls and 1 strike to CSP leadoff hitter Austin White. And there's a ground ball to second. He's going to come up throwing, and that's going to be in the dirt and not scooped. So it's going to be a reach on an error for Austin White. And that's going to bring Bryce Hinsdale to the plate. So, again, I think that goes, Pat, to your comment about not being able, hands cold and not be able to feel the ball. That was not a long throw that the second baseman had to make, but that was in the dirt quite early. And there's a fly ball for Bryce, and that's going to be trouble.
Nobody's running hard for it.
And that's going to drop right between the second baseman and center fielder and right fielder. I'm not sure what the right fielder was doing there.
Nobody was coming hard for it.
Nope.
The second baseman gave up on it.
So, base hit for Bryce. So, CSP has 2 leadoff, or the first 2 batters of the inning on base, and that's going to bring Gabe Roth to the plate.
Gabe was hit by pitch in the first inning.
And he's up there swinging, foul ball, strike one.
Yeah, I don't
and
think
if
he
you're,
likes that hit by pitch thing. He just wants to swing the bat.
Yeah. And if you're Rada, Pat, you've kind of done what you've wanted to do. You forced a ground ball and you forced a pop-up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately your defense has kind of hurt you and put you in a bad spot here. There's a ball low for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gabe Roth. 3-0 CSP here in the bottom of the second.
Austin has quite a lead at second, I'll tell you.
There's a ball in the dirt. Good stop by Olson behind the plate. That's going to be 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, they both have pretty good sized leads. There's a ball outside, and Olson got it in the dirt for a second straight pitch, so was able to keep the runners at first and second. Here's the 3-1, and Gabe's up there swinging away, and he swing and miss for strike number 2. So full count here to Gabe Roth. Here's the payoff pitch, and he fouls it off.
Staying alive with it.
Yep.
Get the one he wants here now.
Taking some good swings.
Yes, absolutely. He's up there to hit the ball. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, our 3 and 4 hitter, they don't get cheated when they get in the batter's box.
No. And the runners are running, and that's a swing and a miss by Gabe Roth for a strikeout and out number 1 of the inning. But the 2 base runners for CSP advance, so we've got runners at second and third with 1 out, and that's going to bring Trent Burchanowski to the plate.
Even though it was a strikeout, Kyle, he still moved him up. So
yeah,
that's
right. Oh, and
hit by a pitch.
And Trent's going to get hit by a pitch, and that's going to load the bases here in the bottom of the second, and that's going to bring Tate Catanese, who had a RBI stand-up double back in the first inning, 2 RBIs stand-up double back in the first inning, and now he comes to the plate with 1 out. CSP up 3-0 with bases loaded. So good opportunity for a couple more ribbies for Tate here. That's a ball high for ball 1. Runners are not being held on, so. And there's a ground ball to short. He's going to come up and get the leadoff, or get the runner at second. So it's going to be an RBI infielder's choice for Tate. Good job putting bat on the ball. And good job of crossing the plate for Austin White. So that's going to make it 4-0 CSP here in the bottom of the second. 2 outs with runners at first and third, and that's going to bring Grant Lictus up, who singled. Tate's going to steal. He's going to throw that down. He's going to go to the outfield, and that's going to score 1, and Tate's going to third. So, typically, Pat, on first and third, you don't see the catcher throw down.
No, and he threw that down, and that second baseman was coming in to get that.
Yeah, I think there was some miscommunication on behalf of the infield there for Chautauqua Lake, because the catcher threw it, and the shortstop and second baseman didn't really look like they knew who was going to catch it. So that scores a run for CSP and moves Tate all the way from first to third, as he was stealing on that play. And Grant Lictus is up with 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Grant was on in the first inning.
Yeah, he had a little single
right here,
right over second base, I think, right?
Yep.
And there's a ground ball to the first baseman. He's going to get it and step on the bag.
Right.
So
got a few more.
That's going to be out number 3 for CSP here in the bottom of the second. But CSP puts 2 across the plate to make it 5-0. So after 2, your Wolfpack lead. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions in Clymer. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Support for CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Clymer Hardware and Home Center. Serving the Clymer area since 1873 with all your hardware needs at 8746 West Main Street and online at clymerhardwareandhomecenter.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Clymer Hardware and Home Center.
Welcome back to CSP Baseball on Channel 98.9 and Facebook Live. Want to welcome those that are watching us around Chautauqua County and other
parts of the country.
Yeah. So if, as we've done in the past, if you're listening to us today, feel free to drop us a line in the comments and let us know where you're listening from. But we're going to enter the top of the third here. CSP up 5-0. And Gabe Roth is going to face the 9, 1, and 2 hitters for Chautauqua Lake. And again, if you're just tuned in but have watched CSP baseball this year, you'll see CSP's got a new look today with white pants. And we've talked a little bit about it throughout the day, but it's a good look. So
I like it. I like the new jerseys. I like the new pants.
Yep. And this is going to bring number 7, Webb, the number 9 hitter for Chautauqua Lake, into the box. And he's up there swinging away, and that's going to be strike number 1 for Gabe Roth, as he's pitched 2 shutout innings. Through 2 innings, I think he's got 4.
Straight up, Grant. No, out of play.
4 strikeouts. Not a lot of Chautauqua Lake has not gotten bad on the ball, at least in play, much at all. The base runners that Chautauqua Lake has had, it's been a hit by pitch and a walk. And that's a 3-pitch strikeout for Gabe Roth to start the inning. So 1 out for CSP, and that's going to bring the top of the order to the plate for Chautauqua Lake.
Hit by a pitch in the first inning.
Henry got hit right in the back, right square in the back in the first inning. And on a cold day like today, that is going to sting.
Yeah. Probably left a mark.
One out here in the top of the third. 5-0 CSP over the Chautauqua Lake Thunderbirds. And there's ball one to Henry.
Looked good from here, Kyle.
It did look good. There's strike number one. Part of our issues was we've got to look through the pole, around the pole, and around the
lady in the blanket.
Yeah, I think it's called a sack.
Is it? What's it called? A comfy sack?
Stadium sack.
Mm-hmm.
You know you've got everything if you have a stadium sack. And there's a well-hit ball to right field, and Caden Beckering comes up and makes the play for out number two. So nice job by Caden Beckering playing his right field position. And that's going to be 2 outs here in the top of the third for CSP. And that's going to bring Hughes playing shortstop today to the plate. Hughes with a strikeout back in the first inning.
I would hold that book up here where we're standing, Kyle, so you could see it, but it's a little chilly.
That's a ball high. 2 balls and no strikes. This umpire calls out, does a nice job of calling out the balls and strikes, and too bad we're so far away. And that's a ball inside for ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes to Chautauqua Lake's number 2 hitter in the lineup. See if Gabe can fight his way back here, down 3-0.
Nope. Ball in the dirt.
Ball in the dirt. So 4 straight pitches, 4 straight balls for Gabe Roth, and that's going to put Hughes on for their first base runner of the inning, and that's going to bring catcher Olson to the plate for Chautauqua Lake.
Gabe struck him out in the first inning.
Not a big lead over here, Pat.
No.
That ball's outside, so ball 1 to Olson. 5 straight balls now for Gabe here after getting the first 2 outs of the inning. And ball number 2.
I know I've said this before, Kyle, but Grant has progressed more and more each game.
Yeah, every game he's gotten better.
Yes,
yep.
Absolutely.
And there's a well-hit ball to center field, but Blake Copta is underneath it, and that's going to be out number 3. So a long fly out here to end the Chautauqua Lake half of the third inning, where CSP leads 5-0. And we'll be right back.
We're going 7, 8, 9.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance, with offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown. J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Support for Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Mosher Carpeting at 8631 East Main Street in Clymer. Mosher's has carpeting and all types of flooring, serving the area for over 27 years. Online at mosherscarpeting.com.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Really?
Welcome back to the campus of Clymer Central School, where CSP leads 5-0 over the Chautauqua Lake Thunderbirds as we enter the bottom half of the third inning. And it's going to be batters 7, 8, and 9 for CSP, which I think that means Dylan Michael, Blake Kopta, and Caden Beckerink.
Yep.
Let's see if we can add some insurance runs here. Feels kind of at this point, Pat, if we could get some, 2 or 3 more runs, that Gabe's pretty well locked in.
Yeah, if we could get
on the mound.
Yeah, get through today with one pitcher, that would be really nice.
And here's the first pitch to Dylan Michael, and that's going to be a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes. Rada getting his third inning on the mound. He's the starter for Chautauqua Lake today. And another ball inside. So 2 balls and no strikes. And there's a shot to center or shortstop, and he's going to beat it out.
Good hustle.
Good hustle by Dylan Michael, and that's going to be an infield single for Dylan to lead off the third inning here. That was a well-hit ball to shortstop, and
shortstop made a great play on it, though.
He did make a good play. He's just playing so deep that makes that's an awfully long throw. So that's going to bring Blake Kopta to the plate. And there's an attempted bunt foul. So Rada up early, no balls, and 1 strike.
Blake walked in his first at bat.
Here's the 0-1. He squared the bunt and got pulled back for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Blake. Excuse me.
Chautauqua Lake's got their third baseman in on the grass, so he's playing for the bunt. And Blake's showing bunt again. Pulls back and hits the ball a long ways.
That is a well-hit ball to center field, and that's going to be caught by the center fielder. Just in front of the fence, and that's going to retreat Dylan Michael back to first. But
that was a well-hit ball.
Boy, he did smoke that thing, Pat. And he showed bunt very early in that and pulled it back and swung and made good contact. But long fly ball out for out number 1, and that's going to bring
Caden
Beckerink to the plate. CSP leading 5-0 here in the bottom of the third with 1 out and 1 on. Ooh,
hit by a
Caden
pitch.
Beckerink just got hit in the knee area, and that one's going to sting as well.
Well, Kyle, that's one good thing about this cold weather. It won't swell up in this cold.
So CSP with runners on first and second now with one out, and that's going to bring leadoff hitter Austin White to the plate. Austin with a fly out back in the first and
got an error.
Reached on an error in the second. There's a pass ball, and everybody's going to
maybe
one additional base. There was some uncertainty there, but everybody made it safe. So runners now at second and third. See if Austin can find a hole here. And there's a foul ball down the first base line.
The ball was hit well.
Yep. One ball, one strike to Austin White. There's the ball inside for ball two. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the third, 1 out. Runners on second and third. CSP up 5-0. There's a ball outside. So 3 balls and 1 strike. A walk here is going to bring the bases loaded. Here's the 3-1. That was high and outside for ball 4. So base on balls for Austin White, and that's going to load the bases for Bryce Hinsdale, who reached on an error back in the second and got thrown out at third after a well-hit ball to right field. So we'll see if Bryce can get bat on the ball here and get it somewhere out of the infield, get a couple runs across at least. Runners are not being held on other than first. There's a ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
And that confuses me, Kyle. Why would you hold him on at first? He can't go anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere.
That fielder should be over there in his position.
Particularly with a lefty at the plate.
Yeah. That's it.
And there it is, the base hit to right field. Good contact for Bryce, and that's going to score 2 at least, and that's going to advance Austin White to third. So our 2 RBI single by Bryce Hinsdale, and it was just what we were talking about, Pat. And I'm not sure even if he was in his traditional spot if he would have been able to get that, but
he would have been facing the play instead of
right.
That's the.
So good base hit, good base hit by Bryce. That's 2 good contacts he's had today, which is at this point a win for Bryce. And that's going to get first and third with 1 out. And again, just checking Bryce over at first, but first and third, 7-0 here. CSP with 1 out, and Gabe Roth at the plate.
I'd be sending Bryce if it was me, for sure.
And there he goes. And that's a pass ball.
Standing up.
Bryce is going to stand up, stolen base, and Austin just wasn't quite sure he could make it. So on the pass ball, he did not run for home. So it's
Which is a good decision because this backstop bounces it back pretty well to him.
There's a piece of wood that runs along the bottom of this backstop, and if the ball hits that wood, it'll bounce right back to you. So second and third, and there's a foul ball for Gabe. Gabe struck out in the last inning. He's due for a hit here.
Yeah, he's had a rough. He was hit by a pitch and then struck out, so time to hit the ball. He gets a base hit here. That should score us 2 more.
Yep. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. So,
boy, he seems awfully eager at the plate. Awfully eager.
He does. That ball was high. That ball was tough to hit there. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he stays alive. He reached out and foul tipped that. So still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just watching the track meet over there, Pat.
Makes you cold, doesn't it?
Well, number 1, it makes me cold. And number 2, I've seen those guys run around. This has got to be the 4th or 5th time. I'm like, no thanks on that one.
So it makes you cold and makes you tired.
That's right. There's a ball high for ball 2. 2-2.
Most people that run those long distance, they love that.
Yeah.
They love it.
And there's a high pop-up on the infield. Second baseman calling for it, and he's going to make the catch for out number 2.
All right, Trent.
And that's going to bring Trent Burchanowski to the plate. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. 7-0 CSP leads.
Sure would be nice to have these 2.
Yeah. Get us a little bit closer to 10.
Yeah.
Oh, and
he's hit again.
2 straight pitches where Trent's been hit. So that is going to be that's going to bring Tate Catanese to the plate again. I think he came to the plate with the bases loaded last inning. So 2 straight innings coming to the plate with the bases loaded after a 2 RBI double back in the 1st.
Then he had the RBI fielder's
choice. Yeah. So 3 RBIs on the day for Tate, looking to add to that total. One ball, no strikes. And there's a strike at the knees for strike 1. 1-1. Got a lot of speed on the bases too, Pat, so anything hit to any sort of gap is
going to get you 2, almost 3, I think.
And there's a soft one to center, and that's going to fall in for an RBI, and there's an RBI, 2 RBI single for Tate Catanese, his 5th RBI of the day. And that's going to make it 9-0 CSP with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Ball was not well hit, but it had eyes and found an opening out there between the right over second base, right in front of the short center fielder. And I think that's going to result in a pitching change for Chautauqua Lake. So they're going to take a break, and we'll take a break in the action with them, with CSP leading 9-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 outs. We've got a pitching change coming up.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
In baseball, these are the moments that bring us to our feet.
But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
United for a great cause.
So join Major League Baseball and stand up to cancer
as we stand in honor of all loved ones affected by this disease.
I'm Jordana Brewster.
I'm Candace Patton.
Joe Manganello.
I'm Matt Damon, and cancer has in some way touched all of us.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Welcome back to CSP Wolfpack Baseball here on Channel 98.9, where CSP leads Chautauqua Lake Thunderbirds 9-0 here in the bottom of the third, and we're just coming out of a pitching change. Number 23, Rada, was starting pitcher for Chautauqua Lake. He went 2 2/3 today, and that's going to bring Smith into pitch for Chautauqua Lake in relief, and he comes in with 2 outs and CSP runners at second and third, and it's going to bring Grant Lictus to the plate. Grant with a single back in the first inning. 2 outs. Any bat on the ball, CSP runners are going to be running. So 1 ball, no strikes here to Grant Lictus. And there's a strike in on the inside part of the plate. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Grant Lictus as CSP looks to add to their 9-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball looking, and that's going to be out number 3, but not until CSP puts 4 runs across the board to make it 9-0. CSP after 3, and we will be right back after these messages.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
This Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Cornerstone Restaurant and Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. The Cornerstone offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and baked goods. The phone number is 716-234-4002, or find them on Facebook. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Cornerstone in Sherman for their support.
Support for CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Clymer Hardware and Home Center. Serving the Clymer area since 1873 with all your hardware needs at 8746 West Main Street and online at ClymerHardwareandHomeCenter.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Clymer Hardware and Home Center.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Welcome back, and you just heard them, but we want to thank our sponsors for giving us this opportunity to broadcast these games to you and support CSP Wolfpack Baseball. I'm Kyle Hinsdale, joined by Pat Catanese, and we're glad to bring you today's action where CSP leads 9-0 as we enter the top of the fourth inning.
4, 5, and 6 we're going to face.
And 4, 5, and 6. So first at bat is the first baseman for Chautauqua Lake, Ormsby, today. Gabe Roth still on the mound for CSP. Oh, and he just plunks Ormsby right in the back or elbow, and that is really going to be sore. Yeah, that one's going to sting for a little bit. Looks like it hit him right on the elbow, Pat. Either on the elbow or in that right above the back of the...
Oh, in the tricep type of area? Yeah. No matter where you get hit today, it's going to sting.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to...
Bring a runner in for him?
Maybe bring a runner in, which would make some sense. So number 1, Flurry, is going to be the pinch runner for Ormsby. So let's see if we can get Gabe to get his control back here. No outs here in the top of the fourth. 9-0 CSP. And that's going to bring Smith to the plate. There's a ball outside for ball 1.
Not much of a lead at first base.
There, Gabe finds the strike zone. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Smith, who came in relief in the bottom of the third. And there's strike 2 on the outside part. So 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That young man does not even have long sleeves on, Kyle.
He doesn't. It's got to be freezing.
And I don't believe he's a catcher or a lineman.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
He must be a tough kid, though, because I'm bundled up.
There's a pop-up to right field. Caden Beckrink runs underneath it for out number 1. And Flurry, the pinch runner, reverts back to first base. Good job by Caden Beckrink getting underneath it. That's 2 outputs for Caden Beckrink today. And that's going to bring the DH Blackman to the plate for Chautauqua Lake. And first pitch strike for Gabe. See if CSP can get out of this inning, stranding that leadoff hit by pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. And there's a strike on the outside part. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Track meet's still going on.
That'll go on till dark.
I think the temperature is slowly declining. And Blackman stays alive with a foul ball.
Declining from 48 down to 44.
I don't think Gabe really needs to worry about this base runner.
No, he doesn't have much of a lead.
I don't see him going anywhere. His lead, to your point, is not very big. And there's a fly ball to center field, and Blake Copta gets underneath it and makes the catch. So out number 2 for CSP here in the top of the 4th. 2 flyouts for the outs, and that's going to bring B. Smith to the plate, playing center field for Chautauqua Lake. There's
right at you, Kyle.
Foul ball. Hit the spectators.
That one was right at us, folks.
That one was right at us.
And Kyle and I have been around long enough knowing with our cold hands not to reach out and grab that.
Oh, that's right. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Smith. 2 outs in the top of the 4th. 9-0 CSP. And there's strike 2, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's strike 3 for first strikeout of the inning, and out number 3, Chautauqua Lake gets the leadoff runner on and leaves him stranded at first. And we're through 3.5 innings where CSP leads 9-0. We'll be right back.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services
yards.
and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered.
Okay.
The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Welcome back to CSP football or baseball. I've done that every week, I think. Every game at least once. CSP baseball, where CSP leads 9-0. We want to thank Wyona Weavers, who's watching us today from Texas, and we want to thank my Uncle David, who explained to us that he's 2,112 feet from this location, but he's watching in the comfort of his warm living room.
Davis, make us a sandwich and bring it on over, would you?
Yeah, or hot chocolate. We could use some hot chocolate. So there's a first pitch ball to Dylan Michael, so it's going to be 7, 8, 9 hitters for CSP here in the bottom of the fourth. 9-0. In an ideal situation, Pat, I think we get at least one run here, right? Get to the top of the fifth.
Yeah, I'd like that. We would all like that.
There's a ball.
But
so
typically that one run comes very hard at times,
yes.
you know?
I think it's 2 balls and 1 strike here to Dylan. There's a ball high for ball 3. 3-1. Dylan, one of those players who missed Friday night's game because they were on a field trip to Gettysburg. One of 4 CSP starters to be on that trip. So full count here to Dylan Michael after he foul tips it off. Smith, who came in on the mound back in the bottom of the third in relief. And there is strike number 3 on the outside part of the plate. So
Dylan didn't believe it.
Nope. Chautauqua Lake with their first out of the inning, and that's going to bring Blake Kopta to the plate.
Blake is hitting the ball very hard right now at this time. Made the center fielder really back up last time. Hit the ball
There's
right
a
there.
well-hit ball, just foul down the third base line. To your point, Pat, back in the second or third inning, Blake hit a long fly ball right to dead center, almost to the fence, and it was a long out. But you're right, he's seeing the ball very well right now. There's a ball outside, so 1 ball, 1 strike. He made good contact on that first pitch, just foul. Ball outside, 2-1. Caden Beckerink on deck for the Wolfpack.
Kyle, I see the young man that got hit in the elbow, which they had a pinch runner for. He's back on the field,
Yep,
so he must be okay.
Yep, that's a good sign. 3 balls and 1 strike to Blake. Happy to report that it's no longer raining. That's a walk to Blake Kopta, so Blake will be the first base runner of the inning for CSP, and that's going to bring Caden Beckerink to the plate. He got some coaching from my partner in crime here, Pat, earlier. Let's see if he listened. And there's strike number 1.
Blake's got a good lead at first.
There's a ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. See if Coach Moreno wants to be aggressive here with Blake at first, trying to get that run in scoring position. There he goes. Catcher comes up throwing, and Blake's going to slide into second, safe. So stolen base for Blake Kopta. And that does exactly what we talked about, which is putting a run in scoring position. See if Caden Beckerink can put bat on the ball. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
There you go.
There's a good swing there, and that's going to be a base hit to right field. Blake Kopta is going to round third, and he's going to score to make it 10-0 CSP. And Coach Catanese gave some good advice to our friend Caden Beckerink, and he gets the RBI single here in the bottom of the 4th, and that's going to bring the top of the order up. Austin White to the plate for CSP. Nice piece of hitting there by Caden. There's a strike. With Caden batting in the 9th spot and Austin and Bryce in 1 and 2, we go 3 straight batters, 3 straight left-handed batters, which you do not see very often.
So do you send Caden now, Kyle?
I think so. There's a base hit hard to second. He stops it. He's going to throw to second and get him out. So he got the leadoff runner. Austin White reaches on a fielder's choice. Hard hit ball to second. Got the leadoff runner, Caden. That's going to bring Bryce Hinsdale to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on first. 10-0 CSP here in the bottom of the 4th. And there goes Austin. And he's going to slide in safe. Hits him right in the helmet, I think. That hit him in the helmet?
I agree, yes. Yeah, and the boys are telling him, way to use your head. So, yeah, that's where it hit him.
So, stolen base for Austin White. And we'll see if we can repeat what we did with Blake Kopta, who stole second and ultimately scored. 1 ball, no strikes to Bryce. And that's
heads up.
Foul here on the first base side. Bryce trying to take out the coach's wife. Probably not the smartest thing to do. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Runner on second for CSP. Ball outside for 2 and 1. If you're Bryce, you're looking for something to drive here. Find a hole somewhere. And that ball's inside for 3 and 1. Austin White at second base for the Wolfpack, trying to get run number 11 for the game.
Stayed alive. That was a good curveball he threw, and Bryce went down and got it. Kept it alive. That's a good play on his part.
So we got full count here to Bryce Hinsdale. Austin White at second.
In the dirt.
When their ball's in the dirt, gets to the backstop, so that's gonna
gets Austin to third.
Gets Austin to third, and now CSP's got runners at first and third with 2 outs, and Gabe Roth comes to the plate.
Had a rough day at the plate today, so let's see if he can break out this time.
Yes, he has.
Bryce has got a lot of room to get off and go.
That ball's outside. Surprised Bryce wasn't running there, Pat.
I know.
I would imagine he might be running here. Nope. So ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs. I think he's running here, Pat. Nope. I'm done guessing. 3 balls and no strikes.
No strikes.
10-0 CSP here in the bottom of the fourth.
There
And
he
there
goes.
goes Bryce, and that's a ball 4. So that's going to load the bases for Trent Burchanowski as CSP looks to add to their 10-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Trent hit by pitch twice tonight.
Yes, that's correct. So you know if he doesn't get hit by a pitch, he is swinging hard.
Yep. There's a ball outside. It gets away from Olson, but Austin stays at third, so 1 ball, no strikes. Trent's due for a big hit here.
Absolutely.
Good block by Olson with the ball in the dirt to keep the runners where they were. So 2 balls, no strikes for Smith as he faces Burchanowski.
Ooh, that looked a little high to me, Kyle.
That ball's been a ball most of the day, but called it a strike, so 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a well-hit ball right to the shortstop who tries to make the play and is unable to. So that's an RBI single, infield single for Trent, and that's going to make it 11-0 CSP. Bases still loaded. And for the 3rd straight inning, Tate Catanese is going to come to the plate with the bases loaded, looking to add to his 5 RBI day already. There's a swing and a miss. He wanted that sucker. Ball outside, so 1-1 to Tate. CSP with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Bat on the ball. The runners are going. There's strike number 2. So Tate down early here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got to protect, see if he can get that ball out of the infield here somewhere. There's a ground ball to third, and that's foul. A 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball low and outside for 2-2. Mentioned earlier, Tate's got 5 RBIs on the day. And there's a high fly ball to left field that is foul. That was a long fly ball that was just foul. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded.
Come on, Tate, get a base hit here. Get us some more.
Watched
it.
Watch strike 3 go by. So CSP ends the bottom of the 4th, stranding the bases loaded, but they put 2 on the board And we're going to enter the top of the fifth with CSP up 11-0. So see if we can get 3 more outs and we can get out of the cold. We'll be right back after these messages.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions in Clymer. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided by Land Pro Equipment, the area's authorized John Deere dealer, located at 1756 Lindquist Drive, Faulkner, and 8926 West Main Street in Clymer. Online at landproequip.com. They specialize in agriculture, lawn and garden, and light industrial equipment. The Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream thanks Land Pro Equipment for their support.
Support for CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Clymer Hardware and Home Center, serving the Clymer area since 1873 with all your hardware needs at 8746 West Main Street and online at ClymerHardwareandHomeCenter.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Clymer Hardware and Home Center.
Like 26-0 against Faulkner in the 3rd inning.
Wow. Welcome back to the campus of Clymer Central School, where we are having CCAA West High School Baseball. CSP Wolfpack taking on the Chautauqua Lake Thunderbirds. CSP with a 11-0 lead here in the top of the 5th. Gabe Roth, starting pitcher for CSP, getting the call, seeing if he can pitch the shutout. With 3 outs here, CSP will finish this game due to 10-run rule after 5.
Where are they at? Where did I say they were at, Kyle? 8, 9, and top. So coming to bat would be Meadows.
I lost my
shortstop
sheet somewhere here. All right, I got it. So 8, 9, and 1, Pat. One ball, no strike, and there's ball number 2 to Meadows. See if we can have an efficient inning here, Gabe.
Yep. 3 up, 3 down.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. One ball, 2 strikes, excuse me. Nope.
2 and 2.
I got it all screwed up.
It's
2
2
balls
and 2.
and 2 strikes. And there's a ball that gets to the backstop. So full count here to Meadows.
Even the clock's running a little bit slow, a little bit behind.
Meadows playing right field today for Chautauqua Lake. And there's a high fly ball.
Tough play.
That's going to be...
Trent will make it, though.
Nope, CSP does not communicate. And that fell right between the second baseman, the center fielder, and right field. So no communication there for CSP infield / outfielders. And that ball drops for a hit for Meadows, and that's going to bring number 7 Webb to the plate. And that was awfully close, but slid in there for safe. Gabe checking the runner a couple times. There's a foul tip caught by Grant for strike one. So no balls and one strike to the number 9 hitter for Chautauqua Lake, Webb. And there's a swing and a miss for strike two. Meadows, leadoff hitter for the inning, on first base, reaching after a pop fly that found a hole between second, short, and center. Or second, right, and center, excuse me. Swing and a miss for strike three. So out number one of the top of the fifth. And that's going to bring the top of the order to the plate for Chautauqua Lake. Henry, who's been manning the second base spot today. Yeah, there's strike one. So Gabe.
Well, Kyle, this would be really nice if Gabe can finish this, and that means that we can still have a good amount of pitchers left for the next two nights. So.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, I hate to see Gabe completely done for the week, but if he can pitch a complete game, that's still pretty good.
Yep.
And a win.
And a win. So no balls and two strikes here to leadoff hitter for Chautauqua Lake. And there's a ground ball to short. Austin White comes up firing, and he's going to be safe. He's going to beat it out. So Henry with an infield single, and Chautauqua Lake's got first two batters on base here in the top of the fifth.
Kyle, I'm thinking Tate should have grabbed that ball. He was coming at it.
Yeah.
Scooped it up and played it. Yep.
Right there. It's right. What was right in that middle spot between the short and third. There's strike number one. Nope. One ball, one strike. I thought he was going to call a strike there. Pat. That ball's low and outside for ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike. We're hoping for an efficient inning. It's not turning into that right now.
This is not what we wanted to see.
And there's ball in the dirt. Three balls and 1 strike. And there's a ground ball to the one and two, and that's going to be it. So Austin White with the double play with ground ball, touch second, throw to first. So nice play by Austin White, and that's going to end a very chilly game for CSP. In 5 innings, CSP wins it 11-0. So a nice performance on the mound today for Gabe Roth as he goes 5 strong innings and pitches the shutout. CSP now will turn their attention to Frewsburg, who we travel to Frewsburg tomorrow for a 5 o'clock start, and then back at it, I believe, in Panama on Thursday against Westfield. So any closing thoughts here, Pat, on the game today?
Like I said earlier, that's nice that we got a complete game out of Gabe so that we have pitchers still that we can have available for the rest of the week. The boys hit the ball pretty well today.
Yeah, we did make good contact, and White Pants are undefeated at 1-0. So we'll see if we can keep it going that way. So for Pat Catanese, I'm Kyle Hinsdale. This is CSP Wolfpack Baseball on Channel 98.9. CSP with an 11-0 win over Chautauqua Lake here on home field. We will see everyone tomorrow from Frewsburg at 5 o'clock. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to this broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream and channel989.org. This broadcast is presented by J. Edwards Insurance in Panama and Jamestown, Mosher Carpeting and Clymer, Land Pro Equipment in Clymer and Falconer, Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, the Cornerstone Restaurant in Sherman, Clymer Hardware and Home Center.com, Triple E Manufacturing, TripleEMFG.com, Countertop Solutions, and by Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer, LictusOilandPropane.com. Tune in next time for all the action of CSP Wolfpack Baseball.